I'm here with Susie in her cute little hot shirt. I love it. So we're just talking about, you love bombing. We're talking about narcissistic patterns and behaviors. And you had a narc ex who you luckily got away from, and he wasn't going to change. And he just, so in the beginning he kind of did some love bombing, but then he got progressively meaner and colder and weirder.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, soulmates, we're soulmates, and, you know, I love you, and sell your house, move in with me.
Yeah.
Worst decision ever.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know, as soon as I moved in, all of my things, he literally put on the side of the house outside in the Vegas desert.
Why? Like in a fight or something?
No, there was no room for my stuff.
Oh.
So he kindly enough built like a little ceiling roof kind of thing, still out in the elements, but like, you know, wanted me to basically give up everything. And looking back, it's so clear, but like, I didn't know what was going on at the time, you know. Yeah, move in with me. We're going to go meet my parents. We're going to get engaged. Everything changed the moment I gave up my house, my furniture, moved in with my child at the time as a single mother. Then I was trapped almost, because now here's my child getting attached to this person, and how do I, you know, I had nowhere to live then. I sold my house.
Right. Do you feel like they have a way of just wanting to make you feel broke and hopeless and dependent? Yeah.
Yep. So they can save you, supposedly, and you're the, you know, the burden to them, and, oh, look at all the things I've done for you. Okay, I had a career, a child, a house, a car, all before I met you, traveled the world, and now, like, all of a sudden, they make you feel like you start doubting all your abilities, all your worth, by not only the actions, but just the words and the brainwashing. It's nothing but brainwashing.
Yeah. I remember seeing this movie recently. It was an interesting movie, but there's a line where the guy says, they're at the IRS, and the wife is kind of dreamy and stuff, daydreamy, and he says, I'm so sorry, my wife has a habit of mistaking her hobbies for businesses.
Yep.
And I thought that was such a misogynist line, and they skated right over it. And this guy wasn't painted to be a misogynist character. He was sort of apologizing for his wife, though, and I thought she was trying to do things that she could make a go of, and that's what a lot of women do, is like they start businesses because they're looking for some autonomy or freedom, or so they get mocked because a lot of it can be like, oh, essential oils and candles and MLM things, and it's like you can see these women are trying to find a way out and to find some economic independence and freedom, and they're desperate, you know.
Yeah.
So
those little comments are, think of a child. If you have a child, and you tell them all the time, your ideas are dumb, your dreams won't work, why would you even think of that? Or
try again, that was not good enough. So my dad would play basketball, and I would miss the shot. Okay, almost, try again. Almost. I came to hate the word almost.
Yeah.
I was like, well, when is it good enough? Like, even if you get the shot, it was like, okay, that's good, now keep going.
Yeah.
So it was like, you bring home A's. It was like, very good. You know, they just expected this high level of performance since I was little.
Yeah.
And it was nurtured and it was encouraged and fostered, but then...
Yeah. But what about, like, if you did things that they didn't like? What would they say?
That wasn't great. Like, if I wanted to do things that were not, like, sort of academically advancing...
Like theater or art.
Well, not even that, but, like, one time I went and I put an aquamarine ring on hold. Yeah. And so my dad flipped out, and I was the one that was going to pay for it. I wasn't asking them for any money. But it was like he really got annoyed that it wasn't through them as a birthday present or as a Christmas present, or he thought the ticket was too high for a 14, 15-year-old to be buying jewelry. He thought it was frivolous, that I should save my money for... He did think I should save my money for, like, entertainment, like movie with my friends, or, you know, towards a car for later. So he just thought that was a financial decision I made without his advice. And I know my mom, same thing, like I was raised by two narcissists, so I have to check in all the time.
Yeah.
I understand the tactics. I know how to mirror those tactics back, and I know how to duck and dodge and weave from a childhood of, you know, two people who were so all about themselves.
It's terrible that you have that skill now and you've learned that.
Yeah, it's an awful skill. I would not like to have to use it. But,
you can also register the people that come in your life, whether they are or not now.
Well, the red flags are almost immediate when you see the love bombing, then the ghosting and the devaluing and the being left out in the cold, or the name calling or the shunning or the silent treatment, or they're using the friends to try to communicate the Cyrano de Bergerac loop of things they are too cowardly or afraid to say. So I think narcissism takes a lot of different, faces and energies, but it really is draining. That's the main thing. You feel nervous, you feel like you're walking on eggshells, which I know people have felt that way around me, because
question everything.
You question yourself. The doubt demon's running the show. So I feel like it is, unfortunately or fortunately, it is a word that gets thrown around a lot, like bipolar and like this and that, and so I'm not even sitting here talking about it as a person, as more as a set of behaviors. Like I do, like if we're gonna go, celebrity gossip, and people judge me for this, but they're examples of archetypes, so fucking deal, right? Kim and Kanye, both narcissists, both kind of using their kids as pawns in a battle that's really ugly and mean. So he goes off and trades up for some Kim lookalike half his age, dressing her, exactly as provocatively as he was dressing Kim. And it's like, your daughters are watching you, man. Your kids are seeing how you treat women. That he treats women as objects, and she treats her kids like accessories. That's something I came to recently. Yeah. So that is an assessment of people I'm never going to meet, and I'm only just seeing their behaviors play out through the media. So that's a skew and a spin, and I know that there's all kinds of, other things that happen behind closed doors we'll never see or be privy to, which is fine, because it's enough already with them. But and then if I equate that, like a Kim and Kanye, to my parents, Jim and Barb. So dad would be so busy that if mom had something emotional she wanted to talk to him about, he would literally put a hand up like to her face and go, not now, not now. And
my ex used to lay down in bed and literally cover his head, put the sheets over your head,
like talk about avoidance,
like a metaphor.
Like
cover your head.
Home,
couldn't
deal.
No.
Couldn't deal with actual emotion, actual tension, actual conflict. So they just run, avoid, no empathy.
That's a major one. No empathy.
They can't put themselves in your shoes to imagine,
Absolutely not.
Maybe what I'm doing to this person is, maybe the gaslighting is a problem. Maybe this is making them feel worse. And they don't care, because they want what they want. They want to win. They want to annihilate the enemy. And this is what I mean when I say I've mirrored that behavior. I have sunk to that level, which I'm not proud of. And I have, but when I felt so backed into a corner, I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And so I still feel that way. And so watching them do this femme fatale, Jezebel, Job thing with all these couples, it's like, round and round we go, because the woman's vilified, the man's vilified. This one's wrong, that one's wrong. This one's doing this one's doing that. And we're not getting, this is not transparency in the truest sense. This is games.
And the bottom line is, if it's a love relationship you're talking about, if you're not better together, then why are you trying to bring the other person down? Like, that's not love.
Yeah, or why are you testing them? Why are you trying to see if they can jump through your flaming hoops to see if they're good enough for you? That's an insecurity projection that you don't feel good enough. So back and forth we go. So again, I'm not saying I'm Miss Innocent, fresh as a daisy, haven't played these games and gotten in the mud. I have, and I am ashamed, but I'm also proud of the fact that I was a survivor and feisty and didn't let my spirit be annihilated by this, because it easily could have been. There were so many people, high-level people, wealthy people, visible people, using their platform and their microphones and their podiums to try to gaslight me into feeling crazier. And using the word crazy and using this language that's very dismissive and very invalidating and very crazy making. So when you extricate yourself from this situation, you do kind of go no contact. I went to 5 months. I went to Mexico to try to walk the beach and heal. And then it started up again. And I was like, why are we doing this? This is like, I see through you. This doesn't work for me. Is this just to show off for your stupid friends? Like, is this you getting a sick twist out of this? You think that you're going to eventually wear me down, which I will admit, that has happened to me before, where some guy flirted with me and then showed up at my doorstep and was like, hey, it's my birthday. Can I take you out for my birthday? And I was so on the spot, and I was only 22. And I said, okay, let me go change. Went to dinner with this guy, and I just went out of pity and pressure. And I didn't like him. I didn't want to be around him. And then he drops me off, and that was that. Thank God. I didn't let the people pleaser thing bring it to, further. But I wonder how many times I've done that. I went on another date with a guy who was such a jerk. And I had 2 flat tires the day of the date, right? So the universe is saying, don't go on the date. But he was flying in from the vineyard. I've told this story too before, but he was just a total tool. So like now at 51, I do have strong boundaries. I do have a get the fuck away from me if I'm not interested, or if I'm not interested in the way you're approaching me. I might be interested in you and curious about you and want to give you the benefit of the doubt and be able to see your trauma and where you're at. But if you're not coming at me with purity, with kindness, with authentic intentions, with, you know, like clear communication, that's immature, and it scrambles the signal, and it just builds walls between people, you know?
Yeah, so. And I didn't know how to discern that, obviously, when that relationship started.
Yeah.
You know, I guess maybe I was just looking for the love in the beginning, but discerning, like, later on, I knew,
like, none of that's love.
Definitely
like,
2 years in, that it was very dangerous situation.
Yeah. And again, archetypes, right? So Burt Reynolds and Sally Field Burt Reynolds used to use the media to communicate with her, you know, interviews and I just don't respect that tactic. And so she did write in some magazine article, he never loved me, because that's not love. That's a game. That's possession. That's trying to see how much you can get away with. It's trying to get to know someone on such deep psychological levels you can wound them. There is no love in any of that. There's no caring. There's no affection. There's no, hey, did you eat today? Hey, are you warm enough? Hey, you know, are you sleeping okay? That's love to me is the basics. It's showing up in the daily world, and, you know, let me carry those groceries for you. Let me open the door for you. That to me feels like love, and everything else that's high level wooing and romantic and seduction tactics really turn me off. Yeah. Really send me running in the other direction when I can feel and smell agenda rather than sincerity. Yeah. So I guess the good news is when you know, like me, if you've been raised by 2 narcissists, and then like you, if you've dated one that, you know, you then made people with and have to co-parent with, you really check in with yourself. And when you kind of start sliding into the depths of those behaviors and in the mud again, you go, no, I don't want to go there. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't feel good. And I mean, I've been swinging. I've been coming out with fists and guns blazing lately because I feel like I lost so much time. I feel like I lost, like,
well, and that's kind of the thing.
And I know that really it's all divine timing and divinely guided and stuff, but I feel like, why didn't I see it through it sooner? Or why did I wait so long for this person to man up, show up, grow up, be different? He isn't gonna. That's what he tells me every day by not being in my life. He isn't gonna, and he doesn't wanna. So I can't force that. No. And I can't pretend that this, you know, ongoing flirting is someone who's shy and tormented and traumatized and broken, because that doesn't work for me either. No. Step up or fuck off, you know, come correct and direct, or leave me the fuck alone. Because it really, then it is just a program, and it's a psyop, and it's like a catfishing thing, and that ain't love. There's no love in that, you know? Yeah,
there's definitely got to be equality. And if there's not equality, there's also not love, in
respect,
my opinion.
Or anything, So, I mean, and I think of like, oh my God, this dude is buying these $100 and $300, $1,000 purses, and I'm like, that's a house for people. This is so frivolous. And I know it's judgy, and, you know, it's not my money, and let him spend his money the way he wants, but that shows a very stunted, immature consciousness that, you know, you're blowing your money on dumb things, and he's got plenty of it to blow, but you know, there's people out there that need help, and not a purse or a fucking pair of shoes that have red bottoms.
Somebody that has a lot of money and wants to build a house for somebody has empathy, and they have
they see like, oh, you need a house, and I have money, and I have skills, and I can make you this house, and I don't want to see you worried about not being, you know, in a home.
Be somebody that has to have a small enough ego to let themselves come out of themselves and see someone else's problems and
their pain, instead of projecting it. No, and their victim always, you know,
won't do it.
I believed in you and you lied to me. Really? What did I lie to you about? I told you from the start, come correct or go away. I told you from the start, I don't want immaturity or games. I want, you know, clear communication and connection, and so like, where was the lie?
And that's something, you know? I did do in my newer relationship after my divorce is I set boundaries really early on. Like, I don't accept this.
It's better with this guy.
I'm not doing this. You know, I have boundaries. I have red flags now that, like, if I see them, I'm gonna
call it out.
Yeah.
And I think that was it for me too. For so long, I was feeling crazy, and I was feeling like I was delusional and imagining things and making it up in my head, and I wasn't.
Well, when you're being
and I think that hurts the most. Yeah.
You know, and you're being told that, oh, no one's going to believe you, or no one cares, or everyone thinks this, you know. Why would you ever say that to somebody you care about? Why would you ever say to a child or someone you love, everyone thinks you're, you know, lazy, or everyone
lazy
thinks
or
you're
crazy. Yeah, those are big ones.
You know,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, everyone thinks this. Blank, fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks you're up for this, or even when Kanye said your career is over without me. Like, what the fuck?
Like
what the fuck?
Yeah, I had a dream, which is something I still am dreaming about to this day, and it's been about 18 years I've had this dream in my head, and I was told you're never going to make money doing that.
Yeah,
just
I was told that about writing from my dad. It's a nice hobby, but you got to get a real job. So
well, a lot of people have hobbies for jobs and careers.
I know. So that
including
comes,
my ex.
yeah, exactly. And that's what pandemic did. Is a lot of people did monetize their hobbies and make businesses out of them. And I don't really.
And sometimes being called crazy or weird, I like to be called weird. I'm
like,
good.
I know. I feel like it's not a benevolent word. You know,
no,
I don't
it's
feel
not.
like it's a kind or helpful or loving word.
But it's a scapegoat word for people. Yeah, and it should never be used. And people that use it, you shouldn't care what they think.
Yeah. So, call me crazy.
Shouldn't care. I mean, I know it does hurt, and believe me.
Well, it
even
hurts,
when you're not in it, it
hurts to be called crazy, and then when you react, to be blamed for your reaction, and so it just goes around and around and around. It's a clusterfuck of stupid. So so this is what I call reality testing and checking in with someone else who's been through similar stuff. And again, I don't think anyone navigates this with grace or ease. You can get ugly. You know, did you ever see the movie War of the Roses?
Yeah.
Remember that? When she's like, get out of the car, hon. She's about to run him over with the truck in this little sports car. Get out of the car, hon. She says it like that. I think of that line sometimes. Get out of the car, hon. Like, here's your final warning. I'm going to mow you down. Yeah. Because, you know, a woman can take so much until she's done. Yeah. And when she's done and she snaps and she's ready to leave your ass in the dust, then, you know, your clothes are on the lawn with a pile of, you know, lighter fluid and a match, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, I could have gone there. I couldn't, you know, he wouldn't leave. So
yeah, I've never actually done anything like that, but I actually also love the movie Mystic Pizza, where she thinks he's out on a date, and then she comes out and she dumps a bucket of fish, huge bucket of fish in his Porsche, and he's out with his sister. So there are misunderstandings and miscommunications that happen too, but I think for the most part, if someone's playing games on your brain and you're not actively sitting there for game night, then it's not fun. No. Not fun. And it's not kind. It's not cruel. It is cruel, and it isn't love. No. You know, it's manipulation and control. So there we go. So how do we
don't have kids with that person?
Don't have kids with that person ever. Yeah, too late for Kim and Kanye. But anyway, they're two to tango, and they're mirror on the wall. You know, so why do I keep getting called on celebrity gossip and don't care and don't mention it. I use them as archetypes, and I use them as comparison to, because I'm a cautionary tale of who I never, ever want to become. The life I never want to live. So I wish them well. I mean, I wish everybody well. That's me. I'm like the 5-year-old that wants to hug everybody and be everybody's friend, but then I'm also the one that you keep stepping on my toes. I'm going to go, ouch, get off. I might step on your toe back. Might happen. But, you know, it isn't like we have to sit here and be martyrs and take abuse or roll over and pretend things aren't happening. No. The best thing to do is to confront a bully in the moment and speak up and say, see what you're doing. I don't like it. Cut it out. Okay? All right. Well, thank you for sharing. Love you. You're the best.